everybody. It's your favorite Auntie Captain Goddess. It's your favorite hood healer. It's your favorite hood priestess. It's your favorite motivational dominatrix. Lady Speech in the place to be, just making myself comfortable, as should you, as should you. It's Sunday, so you know what that means. It's time for Sunday service. It's time for that spiritual tea. It's time for me to spill that spiritual tea on this very spiritual Sunday. Welcome to Sunday service with Lady Speech and Kofa. That's right, darlings. This is a reading to help you start your day, your week right, to help you move along on your pathway. First and foremost, it is the 20th, so happy Liberation Day. Shout out happy Juneteenth to the black people and the formerly enslaved folks on the American soil only. It is okay. It is okay if you are not white, if you are not, if you are not black, to wish black people happy Juneteenth. But white people, don't be out here wishing each other happy Juneteenth. It ain't for you like that. It ain't for you like that. Hello, 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 my beautifuls, my lovelies. It is good to see all of you. Happy Sunday. I want to say that if you are here live, there's some of you in the audience that said you are finally catching this live. Hello to you. I'm glad you made it. I'm glad you made it. So if you are catching this live, you are right on time. If you hop in at the beginning of this reading, you are right on time. If you stay the whole reading, you are right on time. If you hop in at the middle of this reading or the end of this reading, you are right on time. And if you are watching this on replay, you are right on time. Okay, no matter when you are seeing this, it is a sign I have a message for you. So let's get into this message. For the OG people in the house and the place to be, put a bit of fly in the comments. For the people who've been here before, if this ain't your first rodeo with your auntie, Captain Goddess, Lady Speech, put a butterfly in the motherfucking comments. Yes, yes. If this is your first time here, if you are new to the game, go ahead and put a caterpillar in the comments, okay? Speaking of caterpillars and butterflies, let me break the new ones off into what this looks like. The OGs, the butterflies in the comments, they already know what this is. They already know what this is. Hello to all my loves. They already know what this is. But for the new folks, I want to break down what's going on. First off, grab your water, grab your teas, grab whatever you need, because we like to hydrate during these here readings. We might be here for a while. I'm not going to take all your time. Just some of your times. These readings usually average about 45 minutes to an hour. You know, I don't want to take all your time, but I'm going to take a bit of your time to give you a good word for your week, your day, your month, whatever you need. All right. So let me hydrate real quick. I've got my tea. Now, to break down the reading for the new folks. First and foremost, I use my affirmation box. This box is filled with affirmations, with quotes and song lyrics and parts of poems and parts of the Bible, parts of the Quran, things that I have found inspirational, and ranging from all different subjects. Some of them not suitable for work. Every once in a while, I will pull one of the more overtly sexual affirmations and be like, let me put that back, because I don't want to get banned here on YouTube. But this is an affirmation box, and I'm going to pull at random. I'm going to let the universe tell us what we need to affirm ourselves about. So I'm going to say the affirmation, and that way I'm going to fill up my cup. I'm going to speak the good words to myself, and then I'm going to invite you to say that affirmation as well, to repeat after me in a call and response practice, okay? We use a lot of our thought process, and we also use a lot of our, word process to talk a lot of crap, to talk a lot of mess, to curse ourselves with negativity. So I like to take some time to speak some goodness to ourselves, okay? So this is a reading, so I'm going to give you a whole divination, baby. And we use these tarot cards and oracle cards over here. So we're going to be using the message from the Animal Guides deck. We also have the Goddess Oracle deck on deck. We also have the Carolyn Meese deck on deck. We also have the Osho Zen deck on deck. And we also have the Oracle Pogs in the place to be. All right. So when I post this video, all of that is going to be in the description. I try to make sure every single deck I use, that is in the description. Speaking of, I'm going to get back to doing some tarot reviews on this channel as well. Those don't really perform well, but I like them. So sometimes you got to just do things for you, and it's not about views. The 5 of you who like it, I'm glad you love it. So, yep, those are the cards we're going to be using. And last but certainly not least, baby, I'm always surrounded by 10,000 ancestors. All of the Loa, my very powerful and fierce Loa, my very powerful and fierce Orisha, and all of the spirits that guard me, my warriors that guard me. But when I do these readings, I bring my rock friends. So first and foremost, speaking of protection, we've got the black tourmaline in the place to be. That's a good protective stone, one of my favorites. We've got this Ulexite. Yes, right, Ulexite. This is all about portals. So I like to make sure when I'm messing with this, I like to make sure I have a protective grounding stone because woohoo, the portals you go into. Speaking of portals, we also are messing with some golden Lumerian, baby. This stone and this stone have a special place in my heart. I'll tell you a story about those stones one day. We also have some window quartz. If you're looking for a good scrying stone, window quartz is a good scrying stone. You see, it's all rough and things, but it's like a window to the soul, like a TV to the spirit, like a window to the soul, like a TV to the spirit. It's Spiritual Sunday, y'all. I'm going to take you to church. So I am my own deacon and choir. Hello, goodbye. Hello, goodbye. Old school people know what's up. We have my thumb is itching. Does that count as my whole hand itching? Bring in the money, bring in the money, bring in the money and the good loving. We also have some quartz, some straight up crystal quartz in the place to be. Cluster crystal quartz. You can't really go wrong with this. Part of the big 7. We also have the citrine. This was sitting weird, but this is citrine. I love it. Money and protection and all kind of stuff too. And then last but not least, we have pyrite, all about abundance, baby. Speaking of abundance, let's talk about the collection plate. If you benefit from this content, the Cash App is LadySpeech. The benefit is to me. The Cash App is LadySpeech. The Venmo is LadySpeech Sankofa, and the PayPal is LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. In the name and honor of Juneteenth, a couple of you have already done that, so thank you. In honor of reciprocity and reparations, and in the name of Liberation Day and Pride, because your favorite auntie, Captain Goddess King, is a whole pansexual being, okay? So in the name of all of that, in the name of reciprocity, reparations, pride, Juneteenth, all of that, I'm passing the collection plate. Feel free to do what you need to do with that. Now, are you ready to get into this reading? This is the part where I say, tuck me in the corner, put your ear pods in. You can do some cleaning, you can do some chilling, you can take some notes, you can just settle in with me, because I've got a word for you. I've got a word for you. This was a good reading. I got a lot from it, so I hope and pray it gives a lot to you too. Let's do this. Okie dokie. We're going to begin over here. We're going to go boop, 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 boop. First and foremost, we're going to begin with a message from the Animal Guides deck. As always, I will have the description of all of this in the comments. Okay, not in the comments, but in the description box, all right? The boar, face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. Face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. Face your problems head on with confidence and courage, and you will emerge victorious. So have the conversation, do the hard thing. It's time to face the problems. This might mean old things. Oftentimes this is old things resurfacing so that you can deal with them. But in the end, the end of the statement says you will emerge victorious, okay? So when this comes into a reading, it means it's old issues, old problems, things to be processed. Process those things. Have the hard conversations, or if you've had the hard conversation, process the emotion. Process also the intellectual things. Process where you were wrong, where you were right. Process those things. Deal with them, all right? This is not the week. This is not the time to put things on the back burner to say I'll deal with that later. If you are getting checked about your behavior, if you're seeing someone else's behavior and it's red flag behavior, if you're having epiphanies upon epiphanies and things are coming to light, if old problems that you and things that you didn't like, things that you left unsolved in the past are coming up, it's time to deal with those things, darling. And in the end, it says you will emerge victorious. Now, what is the wild boar? The wild boar is wild as hell. And in places where the wild boar exists, them little demons, spawns of Satan, they don't care. And they actually kill a lot of people. They're short, but they're fucking mighty. Don't think that just because the short things exist, we don't murder you. Okay, people be like, you have a Napoleon. I relate to the wild boar sometimes because people be like, people really do be, I'm 5 foot and I will put the fear of God in you. Let me tell you something. I might be tiny, but it is honey badger, Wolverine, boar energy up in here, okay? Sometimes you just gotta plow through shit, okay? Sometimes you just gotta move through it. Sometimes you just gotta go look at that problem and be like, I don't give a fuck, and face it and go off running, all right? So the wild boar is about that. The wild boar get your shadow work on, baby. Get your shadow work on, baby. Look at it. Look at where you have been problematic. Look at where the people in your life who you love have been problematic towards you. Face your shit like a wild boar in this piece, okay? Like I said, when a wild boar faces it don't run from nothing. Go look at when we're done, go look at some nature channels on YouTube. Go look at some wild boar shit. They just be like, blah! And they go forth and conquer. They don't care. You need to be, we talk a lot about the honey badger. Get like the wild boar, baby. Get like the wild boar, baby. Get like the wild boar. So face your problems head on with confidence and courageous. If this means looking at mental things, if this means looking at what I'm saying, whatever it is, look at it. Whatever it is, look at it, all right? Face it. You're going to be victorious. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. There's a lot going on astrologically, okay? We are leaving one retrograde. We're going to be in the middle of another. We're going to be at the beginning of another retrograde, already in it. When this ends, we might be in it. I don't know. There's a lot of things coming up. Solstice, all kind of things. Look, universe is throwing a bunch of stuff at us and being like, you need to look at that, your past. You need to look at where you was messing up. You need to look at heal it. The point is heal it. Throw some healing at all of it. Look at it, address it, and throw healing at every ounce of that. Throw healing at it all. Just throw it at it. Just heal it all. Just address it. And addressing it in itself is a healing. We have the penguin. The period of darkness that you've been experiencing is now passing. Now look at that. The universe was like, you going to come along. Your old shit is going to be coming up for you to deal with. But guess what? When you deal with them, not only will you emerge victorious, but it's always darkest before the dawn. So you might as well just deal with what you need to deal with. What does this mean? The period of darkness that you are experiencing is about to end, okay? But when you've been in the darkest of night, if you've ever been in a place where there are no street lights, in the jungle or in a village or in, a remote village that doesn't have access to electricity, or the ocean, a place where it's just where it gets truly pitch black. And if you've watched the night pass in an environment like that, you'll know that right before that dawn breaks, it is the darkest of it all. So the period of darkness that you are experiencing is now passing. It's just time to put up or shut up. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do. Face them problems, baby. And know that the light is coming. Stay the course, mind the light, high or low. It's going to be all right, okay? Stay the course, mind the light. Someone said what these cards are. Those are the message from our Animal Guides deck. And I will have, like I said in the description, when this is posted, I will put all of that in the description, baby. All of that in the description. But that was the message from our Animal Guides deck. All right. Let's do some affirmations. Let's do that. All right. For those of us who are brown skinned, we're coming in hot in the name of Juneteenth, in the name of all of that stuff. If you have brown skin, if you're melanated, if you have brown skin, I don't know where you're coming from, but if you've got that brown skin, I want you to take a moment and just say this with pride. Put your hand on your skin. Go look in the mirror. Say this with pride. If you don't have brown skin, just hold some space for folks who have brown skin. So repeat after me. My skin is the... Oop. perfect shade of brown. My skin is the perfect shade of brown. Repeat after me. My skin is the perfect shade of brown. 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 Now that ain't for you if you go tanning. Ain't nothing wrong with it. That's for the black and the brown and the melanated people. And remember, folks, when we do affirmations on this channel, a lot of them are going to be for everybody. Some of them are just going to be for black people. Some of them are just going to be for indigenous people. Some of them are going to be just for trans people, for non-binary people. This channel loves everybody, but also it is important sometimes for not only us to speak an affirmation to ourselves, but to hold space and to bear witness when other people are affirming themselves. That's good medicine. When we hold space for, when we stand in witness and bear witness to someone else affirming themselves, that is good medicine for us as well. And when we are in positive and good and holy support of them, that's good medicine too. So there's going to be some affirmations you connect with. There's some you're not, but like, know that I got something for everybody, baby. And this channel is pro everything except for, racism. Work on yourself. Work on yourself. So repeat after me. I like this. Not everyone has to like me. I just have to like me. Repeat after me. Not everyone has to like me. I just have to like me. Not everyone has to like me. I just have to like me. Not everyone has to like me. I just have to like me. Not everyone has to like me. I just have to like me. A reminder that is really beautiful to be loved and liked. But do you like yourself? A lot of us require liking from someone else, and we don't like ourselves. We don't like ourselves. All right, let's talk about that collection plate real quick. Cash App, LadySpeech, Venmo's, LadySpeech Sankofa, and PayPal, LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. Again, that too will be in the description plate. Always support black women and femmes. Always support black queers, indigenous folks. Support the people, the indigenous folks, the black people who you gain inspiration from, who you learn from, okay? Who teach you, baby. Who teach you, baby. Alrighty, then let me check in with these comments. Also, if you do not have it to donate, because I appreciate the people who give $2.22. Shout out to Naomi. $1.11, $3, $7, $10, $5, $100, $500. All of the amounts, $1,000, $2,000, whatever you give, I'm about that because it becomes from a place of love. So I appreciate that. I do. Also, if you're not at a place to do that, your verbal appreciation, letting me know in the comments that this content inspires you, helps you, uplifts you, sharing it across, on your social media platforms, tagging people into it who would benefit. Don't spam people, but who would actually, whoever spirit leads you to share this with. So let's check with in the comments real quick. The comments. Hello, hair here. Hey, baby. Hey, all of y'all. She says she 5 foot tall. Your energy is larger than life. Thank you, baby. I'm 20,000. If you ask anybody, I'm 20 feet tall in this bitch. Okay, you can't tell me I'm not 20 feet tall. But technically, I'm 5 foot. People meet me in real life and they be like. I'd be like, I'm loud and I'm in my power. So, and in my head, you cannot tell me I am not 20 feet tall. So I don't care what the doctors say. I don't care what the doctors say. So thank you. I used to teach in a residential treatment facility, and the new people would come in and they would ask the kids, especially the boys, they would be like, and the dudes would ask this question mostly, but they would be like, who do you fear? And in this, who are you scared of? And they would list all of the big dudes, and they would be all of the black and brown dudes, all of them really good dudes and good men, but big dudes. And there was 2 really cool white dudes. So they would list those dudes who were tall, and then they would be like, speech. So then people would be like, who is this speech? And they would meet me, and they would be like, What? Because I'm silly and lighthearted, but like when I put them kids in check, when it was time to go, and because it wasn't from a place of abuse, it was from a place of love. But yeah, them kids would be like, "Nah, she's not the one. Don't. You really just want to stay with her on her good side. You really do. If something happens, she's like, I don't know. Like she loves us, but she'll no. No, we'll rumble with the dudes, we'll rumble with her. So thank you. I that always makes me feel so good. Thank you. That's a great compliment for me. But I'm knee high to a nickel, as my grandma would say. I am knee high to a nickel, knee high to a nickel, baby. When the nickel is sitting down. Let's get into this reading. Back into it. Okie dokie. We're going to get into the Ernies. And this is all about, we're getting into the Goddess Oracle deck this time. This is all about crisis. So this card is about crisis, but it's really about asking for help. It is about asking for help. Ask for help, darlings. Ask for help when you need it. If you are having a mental issue, ask for help. Financial issue, ask for help. If you are not doing good emotionally, ask for help. When you are in crisis, ask for help. Here's the thing. There's going to be some pushback with this statement. A couple things. I hate asking for help. I hate asking for help. I know this. And this is by design. Capitalism and colonialism puts us in this individual state where you are responsible. We are not responsible for each other. And you feel bad and guilty for asking for help, which in that space, it also helps generate more for capitalism in the end. Your death makes money for capitalism. Your addictions make money for capitalism. All these things feeds back into a system. Wellness ain't really what is this place is all about. In the end, the Ernies is about, the other pushback is going to be, I don't have community. I ask for help and nobody is here to help me. Well, then one of the lessons in this is you need to develop new community. Or do you need to train your community to assist you and to recognize that you're asking for help? Some of us think that we're asking for help and we're just being real obscure. We're just laying out a statement. We're saying I'm in pain. People really don't know. A lot of us are underestimating that a lot of people understand how to help people or what a call for help is. Someone said, I'm afraid to ask for help. I know, that's by design. That's by design. And a lot of us are afraid to ask for help because we've asked for help before in abusive situations. So we've been hurt. But here's the thing. We are pack animals. We are pack animals and we are village people. All of us come from indigenous ancestral beginnings where village was king. The civilization is cool to an extent, but when you get too big, you lose care. You cannot care for each other. Little communities are always where it's at. This is why we will inherently form gangs or houses or Greek fraternities or things of that nature. We like these little places where we are seen, where we can be insulated in a hierarchy. We need community. The Ernies is about asking for help. So if you don't have a community that's helpful to you or isn't listening to your cry for help, then you need to ask community. What someone says, when do you say community? What do you mean? Your friends, your family, you know what I'm saying? Mentors, gurus, guides, teachers, healers. There's going to be parts of your community that hold different aspects of you. So my community is all of the different healers I deal with. That can include medical healers, Western medicine, also all the other natural healers and all the things, all the healers in all the different ways. Your community, your family, your friends. So I don't call people friends unless we can have very candid conversations about each other's mental health and we can get to know what our mental health looks like with each other and what our patterns are, and so that we can be of assistance with each other when we're going through episodes, and we get to know each other so well that we can read each other's energy even on social media, and we cultivate safe space for each other, so when we're feeling unsafe, we have people who understand us, that we can be supported by, but also people that we can support too. Community is made up of your gurus, your guides, your mentors, people that you look up to. Some of these mentors are people that you have a regular relationship with. There are some people who you are mentored by through their books or through their content. You'll never really have solid contact with them personally, but the things that you look to you have that kind of energy with them via whatever the teacher energy that they just radiate. So the Ernies is about asking for help from your community, asking for help from your guru gurus, your guides. Your community is your ancestors. It is your spiritual team, and your spiritual team is your guides, your ancestors, your spirit animal allies, your deities that follow you through your bloodline, your all of that. And I also say start there, starting there with your ancestral connection, starting there with, like, understanding that your spiritual team wants your highest good. And they have always been there. Your spiritual team is never going to leave you. They're never going to leave you. They're never going to leave you. So connecting with that spiritual team and relying on their guidance. And this is something that I have done. All right. So, yep, asking for help from strangers. Sometimes you might need to call a hotline. Sometimes you need to ask for government assistance. Sometimes you need to ask for assistance from a program. Sometimes you need to ask for help in all different kinds of forms. But the Ernie's is about when in crisis, ask for help. Ask for help. Ask for help. We have Blood Away, which is all about betrayal. Now, this is a very layered card and message. Number one, who has betrayed you? Dealing with that energy, healing those things. Number two, where have you betrayed yourself? Because at some point we have all betrayed ourselves in some way, shape, and or form. Number three, where have we been the one to betray other people in our lives and our family, our friends? So this is a very layered thing, you know what I'm saying? And number four, perceived betrayal. So let's work backwards. Let's talk about perceived betrayal. Are you holding someone? Sometimes we think someone did something to us and it hurts us. And we at first we want to go into that situation thinking that they were betraying us, but really they're looking out for their highest good, or they're calling us out on our behavior. Sometimes we're getting called out on our behavior. Sometimes we're getting called out on our shadow by people, and we consider that a betrayal. Sometimes a loved one, a friend, does something for our highest good that maybe hurts us, but in actuality, it helps us to heal. It helps us get to the bottom of our flaws, and that first reads like betrayal, or a friend or a chosen person but it's not. But in the end, it's not betrayal. Sometimes someone is doing something for their highest good, and it has nothing to do with you, but we are affected by that, and we perceive that action as betrayal. Perceived betrayal. Deal with that and work with that. This a lot is at the underscoring of racism and sexism. This happens this is easy to happen when you have unhealed things in the reptilian brain or at the bottom of your heart. When, we began this reading with, one of these with the boar, which was face your problems head on with confidence and courage, okay? Sometimes we are the problematic one. Sometimes someone is doing something that we are betrayed by it, we're hurt by it, but in the end, when we sit in it, when we flow into our healing, when we work with what's really going on, they're not betraying us. It is what it is. It's something different, but they're not betraying us. So if that's the case for you, work with that and do the deep healing that you're being called to do with that. The other type of betrayal is when you have betrayed someone, when you know you haven't been the best to someone, when you know you haven't been the best friend, when you know you haven't been a good daughter, a good sister, when you know you haven't been a good son, a good sibling, when you know you haven't been a good coworker, when you know you've just done some bullshit, like the fact is we are all problematic. Hey, butterflies. Hey, new people. And hey, caterpillars. Butterflies are the old school OGs. Hello, my loves. But sometimes we're the problematic person. And I'm going to tell you, I mess up. Your favorite is problematic. Your mama is problematic. Your daddy is problematic. And I don't say that to be confrontational. I say that to say humans, species, we're all problematic. Everything is problematic. Look at the koala bear. The koala bear is lovely as hell. And it's problematic as hell that it's also dumb as fuck. And I know it's not a bear, the koala. One of the baby's first meal is poo-poo, and it don't even have to eat eucalyptus. Oh, God. That is problematic to me. Okay? So, everything is problematic. Your fucking grandma was problematic. Everybody is your favorite is problematic. You know what I'm saying? So, deal with that. This betrayal might be you just were problematic at some point. And you need to be like, you know what? I'm going to raise my hand on this and say, I messed up right there. Sometimes you get called out, and this might be part of the perceived betrayal. Somebody may be pointing out, like, hey, you are beautiful and a genius, but right here, you kind of fucked up. And so you got to be able to be like, huh, you're right. You're right. And my bad for that. I'm sorry. I apologize. And what are the amends that I need to make for that? Like, and that's it, and that's all. And then change the behavior behind that. Okay. And then the other betrayal is people who have betrayed you, dealing with that pain. Dealing with the pain of, like, being betrayed by other people, dealing with the residual pain. And like, it's okay. Like, sometimes, like, we have relationships and we go through things with people, and it might be old betrayal. We begin the reading with the board, which is face your problems head on with confidence and courage. And a lot of times this is old school shit. So you might be moving in relationship with someone, and you discovered old feelings that weren't all the way dealt with. It's okay to take breaks from people to deal with those things. It's okay, like, if new information comes about, like, you can make new decisions about relationships. It's okay. So dealing with, but make sure that if you are in a situation where there has been betrayal that has come to light, handle that, process that all of the way. Okay, process that all of the way. And if we can't, this is Spirit is telling me to move in with this message too, that this is very much a part of forgiveness. Listen, we are humans, and I'm an anarchist at my core, in the way of Lucy Parsons. Look her up, old school black anarchist. But I'm also an indigenous anarchist, in that when you follow the law of, like, nature, I do believe that there is law, there's natural law, and the law of nature is what most indigenous people fucking followed. When you go with a lot of the law of nature, some of it, and we evolved, things would be, imbalanced. But part of, like, being an anarchist is understanding that being village means we have to police ourselves, and we are gonna betray each other. And sometimes you do not leave the relationship just because there is betrayal there, but y'all have to actually face it and heal it. You have to actually face it and heal it. What I don't like about, in addition to this justice system in America being all the way unjust, is that there is no healing elements involved. The way we throw people away, there is no rehabilitative elements, and it often, the system makes people crazier, and it makes a bad situation worse. Okay, so blood away is about, like, sometimes you can sustain relationships with people, and you should. There are some relationships that humanity is present, but that relationship is valuable, and there are sometimes you do keep with someone, or there are sometimes you don't keep with someone. But anyway, like, in any part of that, dealing honestly with the betrayal from other people. Okay. There was another one. I can't think of it. I think that's a stoner brain. Perceived behavior when you're the problematic one, when someone betrays you. Oh, this is, yeah, baby. When you betray yourself. Hello. Let me take a sip of, let me read your ass. Hold on. Let me read your ass. Let me take a sip. Get ready. Listen. Stop betraying yourself. And there's many ways that we betray ourselves in this piece. Lots of ways that we betray ourselves. When we refuse to follow our goals. When we refuse to follow the signs from the Creator and the ancestors. When we refuse to go after our dreams. When we refuse to let our happiness pursue our happiness. When we keep ourselves in situations that do not serve us. Stop betraying yourself. Quit staying in situations that don't serve you. Quit betraying yourself by refusing to heal. Have you been betraying yourself by refusing to heal? Have you been betraying yourself by refusing to heal? Have you been wallowing in that womb? Have you been wallowing in that self-pity? Have you been wallowing in that narrative of I'm fucked up? Stop betraying yourself, okay? I see I lost a couple people. It's okay. This message is who it's for. You'll be back because it's good for you. Got what you got. Stop betraying yourself. Stop it. I appreciate that I go to places and they're saying we're short-staffed, and it's at places where even though I benefit from them as a forced capitalist, not a good capitalist, as a forced capitalist, I'm also like, yeah, people ain't showing up to these jobs that treat them like shit because y'all need to treat them better. There needs to be higher wages, there needs to be higher everything, and we all look at the government for doing that, but also we can just start reinforcing things within ourselves. There are people who are refusing to work for you and are pursuing their dreams, their goals, if nothing, their happiness. Stop betraying yourself. Stop. There are some things, there are some vices, there are some addictions that we can't address or without help, but there are some things in your life you can. Some of us, the part of this message is for those of us who keep doing things that are damaging our health, and please worry not. This, I'm being called out to. Shut up. We both being called out. Quit doing things that are damaging to your health, okay? You are important. I do realize that things like systematic racism, environmental racism exist, and some of us don't have access to things. Our health is in a certain way, but there are certain things that we can do to like ensure you can drink a cup of water. You can drink more water. You can make better decisions at the corner store, okay? Whatever it is. But however you're betraying yourself, you need to quit. You need to stop. You need to stop. The universe, God, your ancestors. We all love to look at other people. I like the fact that I forgot that till last. Duh. We all love to look at how other people betray us. We all love to be like, this person did this to me. 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 Boy, how have you messed you up? I'm going to get me a piece of paper because I need to write this down. I'm going to take this message over to the TikTok. I'm going to take this message over to the TikTok. Auntie going to take this over to the TikTok. I need to write it down, make a note. Stop betraying yourself. Make me a whole slew of content on this. I'm gonna make me a whole. You expect a new YouTube video about this whole thing. I'm gonna go over this in a YouTube video. Expect that content this week because we're gonna get into that deeper. Stop betraying yourself, okay? Stop it. We love to fixate on that. We love to look at how these people hurt us, but how? Maybe you betrayed yourself because you left the door open. Maybe you constructed the door to make sure these whack people keep coming into your life. So maybe you need to take responsibility for that, okay? Stop betraying yourself. Now that we've all been read for the filth, let's do some affirmations. Let's do some affirmations. Perfection. Look at the ancestors speaking from the grave. Appropriate for Liberation Day, Juneteenth, Maya Angelou. This is just something I'm going to read this quote 3 times, and then we're going to do an affirmation based off this. So I just want everybody to breathe in and breathe out to give you a chance to you don't have to repeat nothing for a little second because this is a long one, all right? And then we'll do an affirmation. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeat so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. Put your fucking gangster panties on right now. I don't care what gender you are. Gangster panties come in all genders, shapes, and sizes. Put them on and listen up. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeats so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can still come out of it. Did I mention I'm going to start my OnlyFans? I'm going to read to y'all. I'm going to say it one more time. You may encounter many defeats, but you must not be defeated. In fact, it may be necessary to encounter the defeat so you can know who you are, what you can rise from, and how you can come out of it. Listen now. Life, as to quote Langston Hughes, ain't no crystal stair. Yeah, everybody gonna get a little ass whooping, and we get it to varying degrees. It's not fair. There's a lot of properties that work with that. But let me tell you something. You are just gonna be defeated. You're gonna get knocked around, and you're gonna lose. So just work with that, rock with that. But Are you still here? Must be a reason. Whatever access to healing you have, you better work it till the wheels fall out. Whatever access to healing you don't have, do not fixate on it. Do you hear me? Repeat after me. I have encountered many defeats, but I am not defeated. I have encountered many defeats, but I am not defeated. I have encountered many defeats, but I am not defeated. I have encountered many defeats, but I am not defeated. I have encountered many defeats, but I am not defeated. I'm gonna write that down. I have encountered many defeats. I am not defeated. So that's that on that. Quit acting like you bitch made because you're not. Okay, all right. Let's get into another affirmation. This affirmation says, I am delightful. Short and sweet. I am delightful. Repeat after me. I am delightful. 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 Because you are, darling. Because you are. Okie dokie. Cash App, LadySpeech. Venmo, LadySpeech, Sankofa. PayPal, LadySpeech, Sankofa at gmail.com. Thank you for all of you who have already put a little something in the collection plate. For those of you who haven't been able to put nothing in the collection plate, I appreciate your words in the comments. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing your verbal appreciation. Also, thank you for remembering me. I get a fair amount of people who every once in a while I look up and there's something in there and they'll be like, look, I haven't had nothing for a year, but you've inspired me, and this is what I got. So I appreciate all of that. You know what I'm saying? And share my work on appropriate spaces. You know what I'm saying? You know, do what you got to do. But I appreciate y'all back. So, yeah, let's get back into this reading. We have the Carolyn Meese deck, and this is the Martyr. Learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. The shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. So let's start with the shadow attribute, and we're going to move up to the light attribute. The shadow attribute is addiction to self-pity. Are you addicted to self-pity? Are you a woe is me person? Oh my God. Every relationship that breaks up it's someone else. Every situation you're in, you're always the victim. Are you still romanticizing pain that you really just need to heal? Get it together. Do your healing around that. No addiction to self-pity, and you're all right. That happens when there's usually a lack of adequate love and affection and attention, and also just speaks to some old wounding, so address that. You are still a good person. You are still a wonderful person, but this means that you need to get your needs met, okay? Romanticizing pain. Example of it, could you? So when you know the source of an old wound, or when there is something really painful and you keep revisiting it, not in a trauma way, like you're not flashing back and like reliving that, but you keep using that experience. You use it to gain pity from people. You use it as an excuse for bad behavior. I'm a bitch to you because I just was so betrayed by my best friend 10, 15 years ago, and I just can't help it. Like when you romanticize it in that, it's like a movie. Like you dress it up, like it's like it's like a badge of honor. This is how I was hurt before, and so it becomes this badge of honor. It becomes this thing that you use to leverage. Romanticizing it when you dress it up like you embellish it when you tell the stories of how you a very real pain and trauma and wound, you embellish it and put bells and whistles and maybe add things that did not happen. And I'm like, that is that romanticization of that. So and usually it speaks, sometimes that just speaks to different things, that you have had needs needed met in the past, and you haven't had those met by your community. So that speaks to a lot. So you've that's a form of manipulation. There's some manipulation up in there. And so it's manipulation often comes when needs weren't met. And so to manipulate something is to make something work. So oftentimes, not all the time, but like people come from a manipulative space because somewhere in their past something didn't click, like needs weren't met in some way until you figure out in either nefarious ways or non-nefarious ways how to get what you need. And that's a way of getting what you need. So addressing these things, you know what I'm saying? Addressing these things. And yeah, addiction to self-pity, check it. Because that addiction to self-pity can oftentimes hinder us from moving forward. See, there's a lot of times where people are like, why doesn't this person heal them things? Because they heal this thing because they are addicted to self-pity. They get something from that. And like, if you get something, if you are this person, just examine without judgment, what are you getting from this? What are you getting from this? Figure out what you need and figure out what you need to get. It's oftentimes like in pregnancy, when a being is pregnant, when a woman or a birthing person, notice you can use both people. When a woman or a woman identified person or a birthing person is pregnant, they might be craving something. Like you might be craving a lot of, and this could be actually true for non-birthing people. Sometimes you're craving a certain thing because your body needs a certain thing. So maybe, and this is, I'm not a nutritional person, so I'm gonna make a very crazy. So maybe you're craving pickles because you really need magnesium, and that mimics magnesium or gives you a level of magnesium that you like, Or sometimes they crave dirt because like there's pregnant people and birthing women who like crave dirt, and certain type of dirt, because A, like that's an ancestral thing actually, but B, that kind of dirt contains a mineral that their body automatically knows they need. Yeah, clay, things of that nature. So yeah, that's that. What did I stone a brain? How did I even get there? Anyway, that's that on that. So yeah, I don't even know how I got. We just went there. Apparently, y'all got your answer from that. So, the light attributes is learning the transcendent nature of service to oneself or a cause. You need to. There's something beautiful to be in service to your community, to be in service to a cause. I love one of the when people say like, what is the point of life? To live it, to experience it, to be here, to craft it, to create it. And there's a lot of really wonderful things that are part of life, but one of the lovely things of life that I think are wonderful are service. And I say this as a dominant, and I am a service dominant in a lot of ways. Serving our community, serving our cause, like throwing ourselves into our passions, into our goals, throwing ourselves into our passions. So like put yourself into that, throwing yourself into your faith. It has been fulfilling to really throw myself all the way into my art, throw myself all the way into my faith. It gives back and it feeds me in ways, and it serves me in ways that like are even greater than what I give to it. And what you are serving, remember this, in service, when you are throwing yourself in faith or in a religion or in a spiritual practice or in art or in your passions, it should be giving back to you. It should not be draining you. It should not be parasitic. The thing about transcendent service is that it very much feeds you. The service I offer to my community, the services that I offer within my art, the services that I offer to my clients, the way that I serve my submissives, that very much gives me, it satiates a spiritual appetite. So like, and my spirituality. Let me tell you something. Y'all would flip your wig on how much I spend on offerings, and I'm very aware that I offer more than my practice requires. I offer. And it literally, it comes from a place of like gratitude and being like, just thank you. Just thank you. And they're just like, girl, you know. I'm like, I know, but just Like last week, I didn't do at their, urging. I didn't give them as much as I wanted to. And I was feeling guilty. And they were like, if you don't calm the fuck down, like, we're good over here. We're well fed. Um, but like, they serve the hell out of me. They serve the hell out of me. I be out here wilding, doing what I want. And not even a bad way. The way they just indulge like my mental health, the way they indulge my imperfection, the way that I have the realest relationship with my spiritual guys and my whole spiritual team, the way they fucking entertain me, the way they like help me, assist me, even when I'm messed up, the way that they serve me, it just is unparalleled. And this is really why I over offer and why priestess life suits me, because I'm like, oh yeah, let me give you all the things. You want this? What you like? Don't let me find out what you like, because I'm gonna give you what you like. So yeah, but they feed me. My spiritual faith feeds me. Throw myself into my art. There's a project that I've been working on for the last 5 years. It is my epic poem, my love letter to the world. When I die, this piece will define so much of what I was stood for, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, sensually, all of that. Is one of my piece de resistance. And throwing myself into it has taken me all these years because I have thrown my whole soul into this work. It is a child. I want to cry thinking about it and what it has given back to me, the way that I have been able to like take control of my life, the way that I have been able to the ways that it showed me where I needed to heal, what it gave back to me is like ridiculous. So like learning to really throw yourself into things, like to give yourself over to your passion, and even to the people in your life. Like I understand I'm a survivor of child rape as a young woman. I'm a black woman in America. I'm a black femme. I'm a black they, them in America. I'm an out pansexual and alternative person. I'm under constant attack. And I'm human, so I understand that people suck. I'm a reader, I'm a diviner, I'm a priestess, so I really have seen the nasty of the world. And all that to say, I still will not stop loving my community as open-hearted as I can, recognizing that there will be blocks around that, but reminding myself to be as open-hearted as I can with even them. And I stay up in my protection, rituals and things. Spirit don't want me to be walked over, but like loving with open heart and loving completely. So really learning to throw yourself into love, truly though, healthy love, healing love. Do your healing work, but throw yourself into love, throw yourself into your passions, and the things that really are serving you should give back to you. There are going to be struggles at times in work. This includes relationships, but it doesn't mean you won't get bruised up every once in a while, but throw yourself, learn to do that. So we have the visionary, the light attributes, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard to personal gain. So this is going to be for some of you, all of us in a certain degree. A lot of us, if you are hearing this right now, then you are a visionary of your company, of your job, of your family, of your ancestors. And it is time to act on the visions that have been given to you. For some of you, this means a spiritual vision, stepping into your true power, stepping into your true nature, your true artist nature, your true priestess, holy shaman nature. For some of you, this is going to mean following the vision of your career path, what you need to do for love. For some of you, you need to follow the vision of love, really loving the way you want in honor of pride, really coming out, at least to yourself, and admitting the way that you want to be loved and how you want to exchange that energy. But visionaries for our families' healing, stepping into new spaces when it comes to breaking generational curses. A huge part of breaking generational curses is just healing yourself. And a lot of us come from families who ain't healing themselves. And one of the most revolutionary things that you can do from your family is heal yourself. And some of us are going to need to do this healing away from them. I'm one of those people who had to walk away from my family for years. The only piece of my blood family that I keep regular contact with is one cousin. I'm connected to two cousins via social media, but we really don't talk that much. We're good, and I love them, and they're cool, but we don't have that. We're distanced by a lot. But with my other cousin, she's the only one I have for my blood family, and I cherish it. I love it, and that's just what it is. For some of you, you will be able to do your healing work in proximity of a toxic family with boundaries in place. No matter what, be the visionary, step into that. Some of you, this means a visionary in your company, in your career, in your field. You have different ideas on how to do things. You have just a different way, a different flavor. It's time to really step into that. Shadow attribute is selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Now let's go back to Blood Wade. Earlier in the reading, we had Blood Wade, and I talked about self-betrayal. A form of self-betrayal is compromising your vision to make it more palatable or better for others. I am nice, sweet, saccharine a lot of the times. I'm a triple Libra, so I'm going to try to serve you everything with a little bit of honey. I think that, that's my nature. But I'm a Libra, and people discount the fact that our tongue is sharp and we are both sides. And if I have honey for you, then never forget that I have knives and machete for you too. And I am prepared to see this go either way. I will offer you machete energy medicine. Sometimes you need machete medicine. And with that machete medicine, it's not going to be nice. And you don't deserve that sometimes. You don't need that sometimes. Sometimes you do need machete medicine, especially from someone who brings you sugar most of the time, who brings you honey, not sugar, honey, because honey is a bit more nutritious. Quit shrinking yourself, quit shrinking your visions at your job, quit shrinking what your true vision is when it comes to your art to fit other people. Quit doing that. Quit doing that. Quit shrinking yourself to be more palatable. Quit shrinking. Like, if you have the idea and it's grand and you've developed it, there's a difference between being, lovingly critiqued and having someone help you tighten up your vision. There's a whole different thing to, like, shrink your idea, shrink yourself because someone is like, I can't handle that. Listen, I have friends who like really spicy food, and like, those are the friends that I'm going to invite out to restaurants that have spicy things. I'm not going to invite my friends who don't have spicy food to spicy when I'm going to go eat spicy things. However, I'm also not going to stop eating spicy food because the friends who don't like spicy food don't like spicy food and they can't handle it. I've got friends who don't like spicy food because they have internal issues and they can't handle it. A chili would kill them. I have friends who don't like spicy food because they're white as fuck. I live in Colorado. I have friends who don't like spicy food because their palate just is not about that. They have a cool palate. They like non-spicy things. They like seasoned things, not spicy things. But you don't stop being who you are for other people or to make it better for other people. You just learn how to maneuver. There are things that we can do. My non-spicy food eating people, as long as they like that seasoned, we can find us the middle ground. My non-seasoned, non-spicy eating friends, we just don't eat together. Hello, goodbye. We enjoy other things. Skiing, grilled cheese sandwiches, tea. You know what I'm saying? But quit. Get with who you need to get with. Even I've learned that, like, if you don't like it, that's great. Someone loves it. There was people who be like, you cuss too much. Okay. I can't listen to your message because you cuss too much. Motherfucker, it ain't for you. It's not for you then. You're okay then. You're okay. Why are you telling me if you can't get past it? Because you know what? I have a fair amount of people who don't traditionally like the cussing, but the message reaching is what they need. So like they be like, I don't really like this, but you deliver it and it's natural, and I'm the message is more important than what I like. Be like those people. Okay? Be like those people. And God don't care. God like me. God likes me. God likes me. God likes me. And my spirit team too. God likes me. God likes me. God likes me. My spirit team too. I like me. I like me. I like me. I don't matter if you do. I like me. I like me. I like me. It don't matter if you do. I've got good friends. And the people who like me like me. So that's that. Selling insights to the highest bidder. Don't be a sellout. Don't be a sellout. Don't be a sellout. That's that. Okay. Was that the both of them? Oh yeah, there's the other card right there. Reorganize the done pile. All right. Affirmation time. Let's get back into these affirmations. We have a quote. from the Bible. Love the Bible. This is from the book of Psalms. I love the book of Psalms. I come from the tradition of hoodoo, which is a close tradition. And we mess with the Bible. Now, conjure also uses the Bible in magic. So I want to make that clear. Conjure is not a close practice. There is every continent kind of has a version. Well, not every continent. I will say this. The continents that have like the native population, and especially they are infused with the Afro population, there's conjure there, definitely. Conjure uses the Bible. If you didn't know, for the baby witches out there, so because conjure, I can tell this to everybody, if you're hoodoo or not. Psalms is a spell book. If you're not coming from the Christian perspective, I come from the Christian perspective in the Jehovah Witness sense. And the book of Psalms was always, I read the Bible a lot when I was a kid, through and through. The book of Psalms always hit me. I thought it was because it was poetry. I immediately recognized the poetry in it. But now as a practicing me, it's, the book of Psalms is a whole spell book. Love spells, banishment spells. Woo, it's a lot. Anyway, this is the book of Psalms, and even if you aren't Christian, think about your spiritual team and your spiritual deity. So it says, the Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. Psalms 28:7. So this is a protection spell. This is a protection spell, Psalms 28:7, and it's a very light-hearted protection spell. It's a joyful protection spell. The Lord is my strength and my shield. That's what consecrates it as a protection spell. The Lord is my strength and my shield. So you're calling down the Creator to literally be your shield. How you can conjure that, hoodoo that, is literally use it in your ritual work to do a shield protection work. My heart trusts in him and he helps me. So this is you fortifying the shield. You already trust that your entities, your deities are going to help you do what you need. They're going to do what you need them to do. My heart leaps for joy. This is infusing the joy, because we know from the magic practice, if you manifest from a joyful place, that puts a different spin on your magic and your energy. You can manifest from any state of mind, but you're more going to immediately manifest when you're happy. You're going to more immediately manifest when you're joyful, and that puts a different magic and seasoning on that manifestation. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. So I shout a joyful noise. I sing and make a joyful noise onto my Creator, I fortify this magic. So yeah, repeat after me. My spiritual team protects 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 me. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him and he helps me. My heart leaps for joy, and with my song I praise him. All right, let me check in with these comments. I haven't been able to read all of them. Yes, thank you, the Bakers, for putting out Psalm 28:7. Those of you can reference that. They put it up. Psalms was always my favorite. Never thought of it in that way. Yeah, it's a lot of our favorites because it's very magic. You know, and like you can, depending on the flavor of who I'm working with, like if I'm getting a lot of Christian hate, I will bust out that Bible. I have Christian ancestors. The Bible lives on my altar just along for my Christian ancestors. They ain't gonna change who they are. They who they are. So I will break open that Bible, and also I have a connection to that too from my upbringing. I will bust out that Bible quick and be like, you can go all the way over there. And that usually works, especially on Christians. They be like, and they be like, peace. Go away, don't disturb my peace. And I use it for other people too. So, yep, the book of Psalms, spicy and seasoned. You season your language just like your palate, LadySpeech. Thank you. Someone says you have the most contagious laugh. Oh, thank you. I love it. Cussing is the salt bar of a conversation. I love y'all. Yes. Someone said Christian ancestors never thought of it like that. Not nice. Yeah, baby. And this is why some of your ancestors are going to get what you're doing. Some of them are not. I work with my ancestors from all different periods. So my immediate ancestors, of course, who were enslaved and oppressed are, from America, are Christian. That's who they are. They're not going to change. Some of them see exactly what's going on because they practice hoodoo undercover. Some of them don't understand what's going on, but they're like, you're still our kid. Some of them are like, we don't fuck with you. And I'm like, well, I don't mess with you either. Go away. And then there's my ancient ancestors who've never been colonized who mess with me, and they like, child, you're doing what you need to do. But I honor everybody in my lineage, and just because I'm not in that space anymore doesn't mean I can't honor those who did. And there are those, I understand my history, and I know that there's a lot of us who did a lot of, you know, good things with that and under the cover of that. And yeah, that's a lesson for some of y'all. You didn't know that when you do ancestor work, I'm breaking you off a tip. So the Cash App is LadySpeech, the Venmo is LadySpeech Sankofa, PayPal, LadySpeech Sankofa at gmail.com. Feel free to throw something in the collection plate. But when you're working with your ancestors, make sure you only call upon and you actively are seeking those who are working for your highest good. So I have racist ancestors in my blood due to colonialism because of the American story. I'm like 1% Norwegian. I got a whole bunch of Welsh and Scottish and Irish and all of that in me, English. The recent ancestors who are there, they don't like me. They don't like me. They absolutely didn't like me, and so I don't work with them. They're literally in my blood due to violation. They violated my African ancestors and indigenous ancestors. They violated my African indigenous ancestors. I don't like them. They don't like me. However, their great grandmothers before they were colonized, some of them love me, and I love them. So when I call upon the only working with the ancestors who mean my highest good, I pull from a lot of spaces, and so can you. So can you. Some of your ancestors, because you come from people. You come from people, good, bad, and ugly. So all of us have ancestors who were bastards. Horrible people. If you've got a lot of colonizer blood in you, you have a whole lot of that to deal with in recent history. And you need to accept that. But you also need to accept that you come from beautiful people. You come from amazing people. And there are people who are magic in your blood. And it's your responsibility to connect. And they'll help you out. Okay, that was only one affirmation, I believe. I don't know. We're going to do another affirmation just to be safe. I got caught up in not even myself. I got caught up in the speaking. It is not overreacting to ask for what you want and need. We're going to change this to an I statement. Repeat after me. It is not overreacting to ask for what I want and need. It is not overreacting to ask for what I want and need. It is not overreacting to ask for what I want and need. It is not overreacting to ask for what I want and need. It is not overreacting to ask for what I want and need. State your needs, my loves. A closed mouth does not get fed. A closed mouth does not get fed. It's not overreacting to be like, hey, I need to be treated in this way. You need to speak to me this way. This type of energy needs to happen in our relationship. This is what I want. This is what I desire. Know that won't always get met. So you need to act accordingly and see what's up with that situation. But the asking of, the stating of, the telling of what your wants and desires are is not overreacting. Okay? Someone said you getting slapped. I'm getting slapped around with the affirmations. Me too. Someone said, do you have videos on connecting with ancestors? I want to set up an altar, but I need guidance. Yes, darling. I want you to go through my playlists. I have a magic playlist, so I have a couple of videos about ancestors, connecting with them. I'm going to be super honest. I have been just slow with the content these last 2 weeks. I've had a lot that I've been processing, and my part of my revolution is allowing myself to serve my ancestors in my healing by allowing myself to process. So I did that, which meant that I wasn't in a creative spirit. I have all the videos that I could have been made, but I want to bring you good energy each time. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to make videos where I am not in the best of energy. And there is some videos on my page where I display different emotions, but I also want to honor my healing process. So I'm just acknowledging that I am going to get back to making content because I'm in a really good space, and I processed a few things, and I'm done processing those things. So but yeah, check my playlist. I have a magic playlist where you can find the ancestor videos. Let's move into the Osho Zen Tarot. Last cards in the reading. Thank you all for being around. This is going to be one of the longest readings ever, but I feel comfortable in it. You guys feel good. This feels good, so it's good. Sometimes we just do what Spirit tells us to do. Sometimes it's quick, quick, quick. Sometimes we take our time. I also have the Oracle Pog, so these are the last cards, but we have the Oracle cards next. Schizophrenia, the schizophrenia card. Now, this is a couple of things. Number one, direct message, deal with your mental health. Repeat after me. There is no shame in having mental health. There is no shame in dealing with mental health. There is no shame in dealing with mental issues. If you are winning with your mental issues right now, congratulations. If you require medication that works the best for you, that's part of your plan right now, and that works good for you, and you're taking it, and it's going great, and you have access, that's awesome. If you have access, you need to take it. That's something that works for you, and you're not taking it, and it's okay for you to be there. It's okay if you're not winning. It's okay if your mental health right now is getting the best of you, if your depression bed is out of the fuck control. It is okay if your mental health is haywire. It's okay. There's no shame in that. That's called human. It is okay for you to be human in this piece. It is okay. It is okay, and there's no shame in that. But this is a sign. As much as you can work with it, work with it. As much as you can pursue some healing around it, pursue some healing around it. As much as you can, where you do have the energy to fuck with it, fuck with it. Where you do have the energy to deal, my loves, deal. All right. So if this is getting your readings, spiritual counsel, whatever you have to do, you got to cut people out of your life. You got to take breaks from situations. You got to switch up jobs. You got to go to a therapist. You got to do whatever you have to do. Do whatever you have to do, okay? Go if you got to connect with Mother Earth, whatever you need to do, do what you have to do. And if you are still hindered due to resources, because systematic racism is a thing, capitalism is a thing, poverty is a thing, systems of poverty to keep people down is a thing, okay? It's okay, and there's no shame. There's no shame still. There's a lot of us who can't deal properly with our mental health because we don't have the finances, we don't have the resources, even a lot of us do have that, but we've dealt with so much craziness or abuse due to the medical complex or a certain person or whatever. Just do what you can. And if all you can is drop the shame around your mental health issues, be accountable, but drop the shame, okay? Don't use your mental health shit as a fucking excuse. Don't use that as an excuse to be a fucking bitch or an asshole. But you know what I'm saying? Drop the shame. Now, the other message from this card is schizophrenia. For some of you, this card is about just this person putting themselves in a crazy state of mind. They are in a conundrum, it seems. And when we look at what's waiting below, it's actually nothing bad, but it is a scary step forward. Do not worry yourself. This person cannot get out of the situation by going up. There's not enough leverage. There's not enough anything to go up. And they can't backtrack. They have to let go. And they're driving themselves crazy because they keep looking at the what ifs, the what ifs, the what ifs, the what ifs, the what if I fail? What if this doesn't work? What if I'm not good enough? What if? Some of you are in a position where you're facing down your goal, your dream, your desire, your want, your healing. And you're like, but what if this doesn't work? What if this doesn't work? Some of you are being faced with a really good relationship and you're like, but what if this doesn't work? But what if this doesn't work? But what if it does? But what if it works? But what if happiness comes? What if healing is there? What if you get what you want ultimately from the universe? I know it's scary. And it's also very much time to do the hard thing. I know you're nervous. Breathe and take your little baby steps forward. Little baby steps is all you need. Little baby steps, little baby steps, little baby steps, little baby steps. You'll be all right. It's time to let go. Well, actually, in this case, the little baby steps are going to be little tiny movements. And then all of a sudden, you're going to fall. And I'm going to tell you that the fall is going to be scary. Can't get around that. But the ending's going to be good. The fall's gonna be scary, but the ending's gonna be good. The fall is gonna be scary, but the end is gonna be good. It's kind of like when you make love to someone who's into some wild fetish crap that you're like, that looks scary, but at the end you find out like, I found a piece of my soul. Scary at first. It's gonna end well. And look at what the universe is backing that up with, the trust card. If you thought you were done crying, you thought you were done getting smacked around, you're not. You're not. You're not. You're not done getting smacked around by this reading. The trust card. If you made it to the end of this reading, gold star for you. I don't have the option of leaving, so to all of you who can leave, I have to stay here to the end, getting spanked. You see what I do for you? Put some money in the cash collection plate. Cash App is LadySpeech. The Venmo is LadySpeech Sankofa. The PayPal is LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. Look what I'm doing for you. The OG's still riding. Thank you. Trust that the universe got you. Trust that the spirits got you. Trust that you're on the right path. Trust yourself. Trust yourself, trust yourself, trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust God. Trust your creator. That's the one thing I don't like about the summertime. The bugs be biting me. I know I'm juicy and I taste good. I only like it when humans bite me with consent. I only like it when humans bite me with consent. Don't bite me. I'm off track. Oh, Lord. I don't apologize for none of it. But I really just broke out in a song about a bug biting me and the fact that I trust yourself. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. And trust yourself. Trust your instincts. Trust that you're on the right path. You're doing the right thing. You're going the right way. Trust your guides and the energy and the information they give you and move accordingly. Trust your spiritual team. But it's time to trust. Everything's going to be all right. I know it's scary. The drop is going to look very scary because it is going to be scary. That's human shit. I be watching the Nature Channel, and some of the most stressful things to watch is when the baby whatevers are learning how to be adult whatevers. And the things you got to do. And I'd be like, ugh. And then I have to always think about that. I did that in some way, shape, or form. And I always think about, what is it, the goslings? It's certain types of birds where their parents, due to predators, build their nest really high, which is a good thing. But that means when it's time, when the baby's a certain age, the mom and the dad just like leave the nest and be like, get your ass, come on. And the birds have to fall down. And there's a lot of birds who don't fly the first time. They really just have to hit the ground and trust that they got it going on. Oh, I be stressed out. I be so stressed out when I watch the birds just, and I'm like, oh, God damn it. Get the baby. But it's nature. Nature got this. And the birds be mostly okay. So it's the circle of life. I'm gonna win. No. Some of them don't make it. R.I.P. to the ones. You are remembered. But for the most part, they fine. Anyway, you'll be fine. Trust yourself. God got your ass. All right, let's do a couple more affirmations. Then we're going to do these oracle bugs. Good Lord, I'm out of control. I need to go to Target when I'm done. Things to do. Let me wrap it up. All right. I deserve good in my life. Repeat after me. I deserve good in my life. 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 All right. This affirmation says, every day, in every way, I'm healing my relationship with money. Every day and in every way, I'm healing my relationship with money. Every day and in every way, I'm healing my relationship with money. Every day and in every way, I am healing my relationship with money. All right, last but not least, we have the Oracle Pogs deck. This will be, all of this descriptions will be available on my in the description box. So first off, we have the Lovers card. Now the Lovers card comes up, could definitely talk about the lovers and romantic relationship, but this is about relationships. So with the Lovers card, and I believe this actually came up last week too. So the Lovers card is about business relationships. Really maximizing business relationships, being mindful about those partnerships. If you and that partner do not see eye to eye, if your energy isn't vibing, then maybe you need to back up from that. This is also just about like there's a lot of things, epiphanies that are going to come to light about relationships. So at the beginning of this reading, a lot of this reading is about you reflecting on self this week. Where have you been problematic? Also, where have others been problematic, but looking at it in a balance. So in regards to things coming to light about relationships, there are a lot of, epiphanies about how you've been in past relationships, where you've been great, where you've been messed up, blind spots that you previously weren't able to see that now you're like, oh my God, that is blaringly clear. The Lover's card is going to speak to that. Business relationships, some of you, this means romantic relationships, really examining the relationships that you want. This pandemic should have showed you that you need authenticity and genuineness from everyone, from your coworkers, from the people you work around all day, from your friends and your family, the people that you spend most of your time with, because community is key. We lost a lot of people. Nobody's okay. We need community. It is not that people want to go to the same bars and do the same things. Our spirits are different. What we want is community. And all of us are going to crawl back into society with this vaccination and this vaccine and try to do the same things that we were doing before. But what a lot of us learned is that doesn't really fulfill us. I could go to the club, but dancing purposely with intention with my community is really what I want. You could go to the bar, but having intense conversations with strangers and really connecting with people, that's what you really want. Relationships. Let go of the people in your life who you're not connecting with. Embrace people in your life that you are connecting with. Examine your connection. How are you connecting with people? Good ways, bad ways? Are you bringing baggage? What are you bringing to the table? Are you disallowing people to connect with you? There's a lot of us who are like, people don't talk to me, girls don't talk to me, boys don't talk to me, blah, blah, blah. No. Are you just not connecting with people? There's this thing that I want to address on TikTok. It's this sound that's been going around, and I see a lot of women doing it. And it's like, alpha women don't run in packs, they run alone. And I'm like, have you met lions and lionesses? Do you know that is a pack of women, and they share one dude? Who does the lion's share of the work in the lioness pride and the lion's pride? The lionesses. And they work together. Community is key. Connection is key. The women that I see duetting this, I'm like, no, baby. You are out here alone by yourself. You've been made to be strong and isolated. Because I got a team of lionesses and lions and alpha people around me. Alphas of all genders. I kick it with strong people. I kick it with amazing people. Our egos don't run into each other. We work together to chase down our individual goals and our community goals. Relationships, connecting, building with people. Make sure you are actually connecting with people, from your lovers. Even if you want to do little one-night stands are fine, hun. Whatever however you want to get down is fine, but are you connecting with them? I appreciate that when I look out about my sexuality, and one-night stands aren't my thing, but I got a couple. And I remember them all fondly, actually, for the most part. A couple of them, I'm like, you wasted my time. You don't even count because the sex was not good. But I remember them, and there was connection there. Even if the time wasn't good, there was connection there beforehand, and I appreciate that. So connection, that's important. Are you connecting with yourself? Are you connecting with others? The last divination item, grow. Grow, 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 grow. Pour in water, nurture your dreams, your goals, your desires. Pour into yourself. Are you growing? You can either grow or die. You can either grow or die. You're either growing or dying. You're either pouring into yourself, you're either nurturing yourself, or you are trying to chase death. Grow your projects. It's not okay. Right, take your projects and put them down. Throw money at them if you can. Invest your time in them. Invest your research into your goals, your dreams, your passions. Grow. You have to actively participate in things like a garden, darling. You must cultivate a garden. You can't just like get a bunch of seeds and throw. Actually, some things you can. There are some like wildflowers or things you can just actually just throw around and they'll just root wherever. But a garden, an organized garden where you're growing an abundance of things, you have to actually, you can't do that. You need to like check out what soil is best for what product and what positioning is best for what freaking plant. And like, you got to care for it. You got to put it in a certain way and then care for it a certain way and water it and then keep the weeds away and keep the fucking animals away. You have to care for that garden to make it hot. You know what I'm saying? You have to care for that garden and make it hot. Got to grow it. So same thing with yourself, your passions, your livelihood, your wants, your desires. You have to grow it. Also calls to mind, what is growing you? Are you partaking in a lot of junk food? And I'm not talking about physically, spiritually, entertainment-wise. Are you eating a bunch of junk food? Get it right, get it tight, baby. 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 All righty then. Repeat after me. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Whoop, drop that one. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. I am blessed. Next up, I want you to repeat after me. This is again for people who identify with the divine masculine. I don't care what your gender is, how you identify, but if you do identify with having divine and you claim masculinity, this is for you. Repeat after me. My masculinity is self-defined. My definition of masculine is divine. My masculinity is self-defined. My definition of masculinity is divine. My masculinity is self-defined. My definition of masculinity is divine. Reminder 2, don't just accept if you are masculine. Remember that the divine masculine is just that, divine. And do not accept the definitions that toxic toxic patriarchy and fragile masculinity give to you. Define your masculinity for yourself, my loves. Define your masculinity for yourself. All right, that's it for today's reading. This is probably the longest reading I've ever done, but Spirit does what Spirit needs to do. I actually had plans to in and out, but I don't feel guilty. I don't feel bad. This was what it was. Every reading is exactly what it needs to be. So thank you all for your time and attention. For those of you who've been tuning in the whole time, thank you. You were right on time. For those of you who were in and out, thank you. For those of you for coming back and just keeping up. For those of you who came in the middle and the end, y'all are divine too. You came in on divine timing. And for those of you who were here live and watching this replay during the week, that's what's up. For those of you who saw the whole thing via replay, never live, I'm glad you're catching it when you're catching it. Y'all are amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you to each and every person who has put a little something in my Cash App, put a little something. I feel like my lips are ashy, but they're not. That's my lighting. Thank you for everybody who says I look good. My lighting was crappy. I'd like to try to set up that ring light, but I just didn't get to it today. So thank you for all of your compliments. Thank you for just all of you put into that Cash App. Cash App is LadySpeech. Venmo is LadySpeech Sankofa. PayPal is LadySpeechSankofa@gmail.com. This is my favorite chapstick too. I'm going to put my wish list. I'm going to start putting a wish list out. People have been like, people have been asking me for that. So I'm going to put a wish list out. I'm going to start doing that. But, yeah, thank you. I love you. I've taken so much of your time already. So you guys are wonderful. Just in case no one has told you today, thank you for surviving. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. Thank you for trying. And personally, thank you for your support. Thank you for your time and your attention. It means the world to me. I appreciate you. I will see you in the next video. And I got some cute things planned for you. So stay tuned. Mwah! Peace.